So, tell me if this has happened to you. You're about to go on a 2-week vacation, but you realize you have a perfectly good empty fermenter, and it's such a shame not to fill it with beer so it can ferment while you're away. So instead of spending your last afternoon at home packing, you spend it here, in your brewery, brewing beer. Sorry, Mickey, you're going to have to wait.
Don't say, darling, 'cause you'll fake it. Don't hide the tears, 'cause I know you're breaking.
So, previously on the Homebrew Challenge. Last time I brewed a beer, it was Czech Pale Lager. Today, I'm brewing Czech Premium Pale Lager. What's the difference? Well, the ABV is a bit higher in the premium, but it's still a lager with really a bit of a hoppy bite to it. Now, with the Pale Lager, I was unable to find a commercial version to try, but there is a very well-known version of the premium lager, which I did get, and I brought it to my professional brewing buddy, Thomas Vincent, to tell me all about it. So I'm back at the Mod in Pittsburgh with Thomas Vincent. Thomas, hi.
Hi.
So today we are continuing our light beer journey.
Yes, delightful.
With a Czech Premium Pilsner. So
yes.
What do you know about this style?
Well, the Czechs love their beer. In fact, they love their beer more than anyone else. They tend to drink about 4 or 5 more liters per person than any other country in the world. And this beer is the reason why.
Yes, so this is Pilsner Urquell, and the trip to Prague would be kind of a popular thing for a Brit to do on a weekend, to just drink a whole bunch of cheap
and
Pilsner
the beer
Urquell.
is fairly affordable out there.
Yes, that's the whole point that they go.
The big challenge can be finding it fresh, because just because you're in the lead of the Czech Republic doesn't mean that it's necessarily fresh. The competitor to theirs, Budvar, years ago, my father brought back a couple of bottles, and it was just as Budvar made its way into the United States. And I brought the American sent Budvar and the original Czech Budvar. We had it side by side, and the hop character was amazingly beautiful in the American bought beer.
Wow.
The Czech one that he had bought in Prague was much older and stale at that point. So just because you're at the location it's from doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a better experience. Pilsner Urquell is actually brewed in open fermenters, and it's unique that these large wooden vats, that they're in caves and then they're sending them off for cellaring and doing the aging for the lagering. You've got a nice rich golden color, which, I mean, that's definitely amazing brilliance there on this, and at the same time the great thing about these is that you definitely get that hop character, where a lot of the other things we've tried early on in the series hasn't really had much malt and hasn't really had much of the hop character. But the Czechs always make sure that their Saz hops are prominent in the beer, that the malt character is going to be definitive, and there should be a fair bit of bitterness in comparison to other styles.
So what's in the grist? Well, unlike the Czech Pale Lager, which I did last time, there is a little bit more stuff in here. So starting with the base malt, I'm using 10 pounds of German Pilsner malt. And then for the specialty malts, I'm using 12 ounces each of Carapils and light Munich malt. And I've set the kettle to mash at 154 Fahrenheit. Let's put it in.
Someone I want to recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
So let's talk hops. I did say that this beer is reasonably hoppy. The IBUs are 40, that's what we're aiming for. So I have 2 ounces here of Tet Nang hops, which are my bittering hop, going in here at 60 minutes. Now we are jumping on the Czech Saaz hop train for the rest of this boil. I have 3 little containers, each has 1 ounce of Czech Saaz hops. This one goes in at 30 minutes, then I'm going to put one more in at 10 minutes, and then at the end of the boil.
Out from your grave. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life.
So chilling the wort now, trying to get it down to lager temperatures, kind of failing miserably. The groundwater at this time of year in North Carolina is well into the 80s, so I'm not going to get anywhere near lager temperatures, but I will get it as low as I can, then put it in the fermentation chamber to do the rest. Then I will add this yeast. This is my Y-Yeast packet of Bavarian yeast, 2124, and I will put that in and maintain temperature sort of around 50 Fahrenheit.
The future is now.
All right, everything's gone pretty well. Got a gravity of 1056. Now time to start packing. See ya. Okay, so Dylan, welcome to the tasting room.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So last week we did a Czech pale lager. This week, so very different. It's such a shame you missed last week because today we have Czech premium pale lager. Yeah.
Very different. Well, I'm glad I'm here for the premium stuff.
That's right. Save the good stuff for you.
Yeah.
So this one ended up coming out at 5.5%, and it's been lagering while I was on vacation. I left it in the keg lagering, so it's probably had about 6 weeks of conditioning. So let's take a look first of all then at the appearance. So what do we think in terms of clarity and color?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a light gold, pretty clear looking, I would say. I mean, it's a beautiful color.
Now with the non-premium version of this, we were quite pleasantly surprised that there was an aroma. So what do you think of this one?
Well, this one's pretty subtle, I would say. I think I got a little bit of sweetness in there. I almost wanted to say like a little lemony, but it's, again, like I said, very, very subtle. Maybe a little floral. It's actually a little surprising. It looks really light, and like I said earlier, maybe a little floral smelling, and you get a little bit of that like hoppiness at the end there, and I'm a little surprised about that.
Yeah, there's that is actually something I really like about the Czech styles, is that even though they are very light lagers, they actually have a little bit of a hoppy bite to them, a little bit of hoppy spiciness, and I think that comes through in this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, hold on. I happen to have here a little comparison. This is the non-premium version, which looks awfully the same in colour. If you take a smell of that one,
Sure.
it's probably not a whole lot different. You're welcome to take
not
a taste as well.
Yeah, the smell is very similar. There's a very subtle difference in taste, though. I'm not sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but it's almost like this one might be maybe a little bit more bite at the end than the first one.
Yeah.
But, maybe it's that bitterness or whatever at the very end.
Right. And of course there's a slightly higher alcohol level. So it's 3.8% to 5.5%. I'm not sure how much of a difference that would make, but I think my biggest concern with brewing these 2 styles was that I was brewing the same beer twice over. I think there is a little subtle difference between the two. So I'm happy that they do taste a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which my preference is though. I actually really like this one for the fact that it's so light.
Yeah.
And you can really drink a good amount of it as a sessionable beer. But then this one's not that strong either. So yeah. Good for a hot day again, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, well, thank you very much for tasting these beers, and cheers.
Cheers.
I was impressed how your shirt, even though it's kind of the same color as the wall, kind of stuck out
And
from
it's
it.
even like striped with
Oh,
stripes.
yeah.
You should put on videos actually.
Oh yeah, it is a little bit sunny.
We're basically camouflaged, aren't we?
But it still looks. I mean, it still.
No,
looks,
you're fine.
Yeah, I had never thought of that, but this is basically the wall. If I just
Yeah.
put some lines on it,
You're
I might
funny.
disappear.